Ebushama mabubia akwa by the no that so Dr. Ren any di mu albana wabomodia wa share program no ede amami. Oba abomodia na share program no for mami na yo ebushia yen twetwe nkomo yen nkomo. Share the video na yen nkomo. Why?
Increasing taxes to get the revenue, and then you are in a cyclical down. It just questions who are making these policies. I mean,
but isn't it just another way?
Another way of raising revenue.
Well, yes.
But when you become desperate, this is what happens. That when you've mismanaged the economy into this hole, then anything sounds great to you because you don't have any option. You see what I mean? And this is the problem, that anything that is taxable, that can feasibly be taxed, they are trying to impose taxes on it, increasing withholding taxes on withholding.
I mean, champion for Amuahami Chechi Amunina, share the video, share the video.
The economy. These taxes are hurting, and therefore,
especially mun share video ni fama ora John Dramani Mahama ni NDC for mun share video no. I've told you that my name, of course, is Ren. I'm not afraid. I speak truth to power. That is me. Whether you like me or you don't like me, I'm a Ghanaian. And as far as you are a Ghanaian, you have to deal with your annoying brother because I'm here to speak the truth. I've told you. MPP can't someone, I will interrogate it as a journalist, a professional one as such, and I will ask questions. I will query it. The same way, if John Dramani Mahama of NDC also says something, I will query it, and I will make sure, say, now, ladies and gentlemen, Mama Ebusianfu Amoshe me wo YouTube akwaba, any Facebook akwaba. Unu se me dani biti amofanche me use two different devices. What I said, me ni be call left now call right. Just take it like that. The message is what is most important. Maminchia Beatrice akwaba Mema Ebenezer. Say it was great having a chat with you yesterday. And nana YouTube and I say Sefenya de was starting a watch to me blues to cry war a YouTube. Now something you say when are we ever going to stop your hypocrisy, Ren? You are forcing him to make up stories like your Jack Toronto did. He's smarter than both of you. So hash Obidiano a walk catcher Dr. Ren no. Or you mean what you say Banadian say or joining a year NDC to be a political slave into free Sankwa assuming I've been there before. I've been a political slave before where I couldn't reason beyond what the political parties were saying. And I don't have any qualms with him. And I hope and pray that Sebio, he will come to his right senses and put Ghana first, put Mother Ghana first, so that he can query the policies and decisions by his own political party, NDC. Mamincha Nuruddin, Mame Efe ana sewa edin bentimi abafacheme George back was say Andrew Kofi was a KWOFIE, which means be obeyens many and I'm fancy. Anyway, mamema ebusua nyina kwaba George and enkomo aye di every year free SHS and who komo de ebedi free SHS and Common Babedi. Na free SHS no. Sebio Nana Adodanko Ekufuado introduced free SHS to the Ghanaian in 2016 when he became the president of the Republic of Ghana. Now it is in our constitution that our education should be made free, and our constitution will say our education should be progressively free. Now, time I did a year 1992 constitution, I can't say education in your progressively free, you know. Which are years I already told so no HS at 2002, Nanka Senka Ghana Libya free SHS. Of course, SHS free. You did constitution by 1992, no. And normally shame say our education be what? Basic universal education. We should have free basic universal education, and also we should have a year a friend is saying to that level ebenya SHS no ebeye free e de amaye. Into from 1992 no ebesi 2002 no na esenke ho and your first batch a SHS no omunko school free. Then at that time President Kufuor bae no wamfa ebuoni ni di ama constitution no and wo botry. Intini ehwe anim say John Evans Atamils so ba obeye free SHS but ono bae wan beye and obeye single spine. Let just say esika no one friend ama workers and obeye ye. Ono so bae wan beye John Mahama so betena ase. Ono so bae or disrespecting constitution no ono so bae wan beye free SHS no ana eja Fofi Antwata Tamils Wuya Joma Betwa so no so anye. Now consistently with Akufo-Addo's message, Akufo-Addo Obia we follow me be and say I speak my truth to him. Where he is, me fanche no me come no. Because for me, I am speaking for my mother Ghana, not for political parties. I am very bold when I speak about issues, and before I will speak, just like any other freedom fighter, research na ye dim komo backdoor ni na eja the message na betumanim. Now consistently Akufo-Addo promised Ghanaians sobemo free SHS. If there is anything Akufo-Addo promise here we deliver a free SHS and we promise and we deliver. Now free SHS ana enye. The question here, and it say, Sabio, it's a good policy. MPP 42, NDC 42, third force 4 year G2, and any other Ghanaian be out no see by dream baby. So G2 say education is a key to success. It's a key. It does not mean say with you'll be successful, but it's a key. It means it opens doors for you. Now, that is a John Dramani Mahama pro, and consistently he's talking about educational review. Now, review does not mean cancellation. So I'm not part of those people. They always want to say John Mahama can't review HSF a year cancellation. I don't subscribe to that a year analogy. Review means obeyen sachraewo. Now, we have a topic here. The menu di common one say President Mahama so obey review la. One match on my Ghana baby potia obey review education no. But and I'm so onim se na kumemu no. Only review be my Ghana nti. Na oba sebio untimi supervise say this particular program no or the adnajuma na assembly e de batane nsem no for people to believe John Mahama. Now, why do I say so? Education is very important. And to permit me, I will be giving you some factual, a friend is saying, instances, things based on fact. Countries be almost so, and I'm so, free education by every boy. And let me name these countries. 1, Cuba. 2, China. Fetch me. I want to buy a sanity. 1, Cuba. 2, China. Into Toronto, because we are here to learn. We are here to study. We are here to open a year agreement. Hey, Bossman, Cashman, Kingsley, Bossman, I see you, my brother. I see you, my brother. Mambo Bossman, Cashman, Diam, Humbenya, Sem, ye, Cashman, the Assembly, we if you nipa, and the Assembly crania. Anyway, now, review of education. John Mahama says he will review Ghana's education. My question to John Dramani Mahama, maybe I will be a for me message in Famano, because maybe or can send be Ebenezer Moakwaba. Elsie, I see you. Maybe or can send be a mammy tuneful, and utia and ujaya some neka. Yame enka a friend is ya dana say self freedom fighters ya kasa uti. Maybe you can say me catch and say papa chaso because some now can only him dear na ye din wo ho enti me kan sa no ana man for them at the smart no and say ampa won kasa sa biem and utwa so enti me sure say video we there minim nipa bi a minim say all share video we nipa ba ku bi am nim so o hwe video we o de be kwa command o de man nso a papa no be to ne bo ase no wa hwe video no no wa hunu point a me build na wetie na supem na immediately o wasem bi kan wa ba bontia ba beka because this attitude by politicians you for one topic we don't explain it to Ghanaians near the nam we don't engage the people we don't inform the people we don't communicate with the people we don't even explain it so well to the people near the nam near the Ghanaian immediately do say Ren I will make sure say me makacho me your headmaster metian na mama wadwene na se bi oni o my Ghana for di nkoma we be wadwe yenko topic neso and I ask a simple question. John Mahama should tell Ghanaians which section of free SHS program he will review. Now, education is important. Now, when you look at any country, a move, country be a developing, they developed on the basis of education. Somebody will ask, you can't education crown Dr. Ren, and I mean Ren, education cry, HRS. Mema was simple a year a friend is saying, explanation you are saying. Na unso sebiu, fatu 3. Ebeboa. Education simply means a process of receiving or giving systematic instruction, especially at a school or university. Education, I don't know, as a child, I don't know. Sir, me ma will be and I may church what dear be a dime classroom and our school dime. Bruni Casano, a Sebio, a mani Utibrofobia, don't let it frighten you. Fakwa bimpinimu. Fatu to woodie was fatu to Casa, Nebusa say as a children say what me cassa. It's your education. Say aboa enipa no akwatena edem na ye kire wo mu bibi a sabio wo mbenya a friend is saying bibi afiri mu e de abo wo mu bra anade nso de aka wo mabra abo hu aboa wo mu ammo free or how bi mu ntimi me ka no twi simple say education simply means say having information that will assist you to come out of ignorance and one no having an information that will assist you to come out of what? Ignorance. That is the meaning of what? Education. What you say? And indeed, so because I'm an educationist, I just say the person has acquired an information abuano amene free sebio ignorance. That's all. And indeed, fatu trim ewo. And unti and yeka education. You can't so be ignorant. It means that the person lack knowledge. And my church will say, knowledge simply means information. Some many wouldn't come away, maybe check at the amount. And I was would tea. Maybe I won't take that, maybe I wouldn't, but then I catch away, maybe I'll be say, Sebio, situation I hear common. And probably a femuda. Ghana is not the first country I ever win. But the only reason and UK, I had great. Now, when it just over here, British citizen, no, and no, na maybe church room. TME, and no, and once a church, and I maybe then made church room. There was a time, and Great Britain was just like Ghana today, and they didn't have the information to come out of. I hear the ignorance. I know one team, and until I'll give you a history. Obia what UK biad. What I say, you see. BB gate, Obeti Forest gate, Obeti something gate, Obeti gate. It was a proper gated communities during the Roman Empire. Our gate at one. Now the Romans, Ayankophobia, Womuna a far UK for Nkwasun at a tay warm. And the United Kingdom, no, they were servants to a Romans and a Omubi. They gave them information. Now, I'm free slavery. I'm back no. Say the British people were still dying of cholera. cholera ne saying. And they say, woman, do woman winnie. And Tino, I'm tired. Sebio, facha me, who did you facha me? Omqua Janaya, Omqua Janaya, they said, you're caught in Crya Bontenso, and Zma Bontenso, Cape Coast Abontenso, a year beach baby, a year a friend said, water Bontenso, near Jayanai Basa. They didn't have the information, they didn't have the knowledge. A crying on Befaswa, or make creative like train. Sebio, sheet him, no, not Obruni, no, so you ever sheet him, Nibi. What you say, Obruni, no, so sheet him, Nibi. But a knowledge and a moment move from the old system and then came into a new system and a abua womo and ubi. So the British has to go back to the Romans and learn a kind of fast. So first of all, KVIP sir, not embreed a yes sickness to them. Now, these way are many wouldn't come way. Now let me come to John Dramani Mahama's utterances, also about a review on education. He should tell us which part of the review. Is it the numbers? Is it the intake? Consistently, John Mahama is always complaining about the number of people. Omo eco free SHS. Munyina mate say, waka say, adeni wosika, ni yedini na eco share adisuemu. Ono di osusu say, sikano anke yedini na eco share adisuemu no kwabna mo akwaba. Chapman with mo akwaba. Sikano Augustina, I see you on YouTube. When we saw branch, your friend Gilbert would dimatem of a YouTube Poswane dimatem, what I say, a friend is saying, in Suba your board, whatever the DNA and come coat that come shed. What I say, oh, how I come up, maybe no. I was once upon a time like you. I was a political slave. I followed political parties like you. I could only see NDC and nothing else. But today, thank to God, I see Charles, I see you. I see Ghana, and I don't see political party. That is why I'm bold to speak, but you can never be bold to speak because you are still in slavery. Thank you, and make sure, say, you learn and come out of your slavery. Say amen. Anyway, Yentuasu. Kwabena, George, Finn, I see you. Now, TNA. So, we have to understand, say, John Mahama consistently trying to tell people, say, SHS, no, about review. Abra one country, which particular place I'll be review. The particular place I'll be review, no ankasano, on country. Now that is the problem I have with John Dramani Mahama. Because he thinks that everybody thinks like an NDC follower. He thinks that everybody is a slave like the NDC followers. They can't reason, they can't think, and they will not ask questions. I would think. I will ask questions. And then the free SHS in what had John Mahama and Tia, I saying now, I will review, I will review. He should tell Ghanaians. But I tell you, he has no tangible reason to tell us. He has nothing to tell the Ghanaians. And I'm telling you, if he thinks that he has something to tell us, he should quickly tell us which sections or parts of the program and obey review. He should let us know. I don't know this year. Under Ghana, why are president before? These are informations he should be really ready to share if he truly loves Ghana. But he doesn't love Ghana. All that he wants is to come to power. And just like the way MP before looting area, so that they can come and continue the looting and the area brigades. That's it. Nothing else. Now let me give you statistics. I'll give it to you here. Take your pen and your paper. I've told you today is Sunday service. I wanted us to talk about Marcus Aurelius as I promised to you, but we'll delve into it a little bit, but we will not go into it that much. What you say? The problem with our education is not the numbers. Into a bit, baby, no, just free SHS one year got too much. Ghana phone code got too much. And then the free man will be a copy, and then Yantu consider. That is the question. Yantu yabu enkosi da bang. Yani China phone see mu 1978. China for etimi overcome poverty. Munso and the only overcome poverty as Chinese country was education. under Deng Xiaoping in 1978, when he became the leader of China, the first policy he implemented was free education. He gave the Chinese people free compulsory education. And number two, he gave the Chinese people free compulsory adult education. And here, it is a John Mahama baby. Now they are complaining about numbers. Our numbers are not even any numbers so, compared to the Chinese numbers. So what are they talking about? So to them, the review means, let's make sure that the number, the intake, no, a two betra. And you know the reason why John Mahama wants the intake, no, do no enco school, no, so that they can still reason like the 80s, the 90s, the early 2000s, so that they can still control many Ghanaians, so that many Ghanaians will be slaves and boy to their political party. Because when a man reasons and a man is a thinker, you cannot take them for a fool. And that is the exact reason John Dramani Mahama is calling for a review. They are calling for a review so that majority of the people who will not be able to go into this SHS will also automatically be enrolled in some of the private SHS around. And it's also a business, a form of business for some of these private entities. And that is the reason why Jerry John Rawlings and co introduced the JHS. So that people will bring the private friends and schools. So many of these NDC for normally introduce the JHS, no, they open private schools. And how call our school fees thing. It's a form of business for John Mahama. It's not because he loves Ghana. He doesn't have the Ghana at heart. And I can challenge him any day, any time. So when it comes to the review of education, he has misfired, and his intention behind it is not good at all. Now listen to this. So my establisher said, the problem with our education is not numbers. Now somebody will say, so, oh, Dr. Ren, Ghana has a huge number of illiterate. Your friend is saying, Dr. Ren, I mean, you know, the more the people know, the quality of the education will be affected. Say that to the dogs. The Chinese people had a lot of numbers, it never affected them. The Cubans had a lot of numbers, it never affected them. The Great Britain had a lot of numbers, it never affected quality. So there's nothing called, say, it's affecting quality. It is Azan, it's 419. It is a foolish talk. Because there are other things, say, woman per se, woman taking Ghanaians out of poverty. Is for us to read and write and understand, comprehend. Now, question number 3. Why is Jane Nana Opoku-Agyeman a professor? Why is Jane Nana Opoku-Agyeman at this particular time not speaking about the education? That is her field. She knows the truth that Ghana needs more people to go into our education. She knows it. And that is the reason why Obiti said, Obiti said, Jane Opoku-Agyeman is not talking about it because she knows. So it's not about the numbers. Because if it is numbers, the most important thing here is people still needs to be educated so that they can come out of the ignorance. And that is why Etaka said, if you think education is expensive, then try ignorance. And it is the reason why Ghana has not been able to move forward is because of the illiteracy rate. Very high. That is why we are where we are today. Because many people cannot comprehend simple statement. So as a matter of fact, we need more people to go to school. And those that are arguing about quality, now let me ask you, our forefathers that had the opportunity to get to go to school. Many of them, the basic education, under trees. Say your maya, yenim nyansa, and yakuma, edo, say a will come out of poverty, would have improved from that aspect of a friend saying, education. So listen to it. Now, those people who are always saying, say, oh, doc, you need sika as a country. Free education. It's because politicians argue this, you need sika. But the question here is, the same politician is not arguing, he said, you need sika no. Sebio. One for buses, Enko Parliament House, Enko Yomajuma. No, all of them need V8. The same politician is not arguing. Say, why are we talking about money that we spend for education and not talk about fighting corruption? Because when you go to the executives, Mahama time now cron forward, MPP time a cron forward. So why is it that they want to make our education that will benefit the entire nation? Say, I know dear, it tells you that our people don't have the brains. And these are the things we have to understand. So at the end of the day, education, and that's one power. That means they don't want the growth of Ghana. Obi said we don't need more people to go to school. I'm not talking about school here. I'm talking about education. Education, school, no. Education is basically you can have formal and informal education. You can learn from home. You can be in a classroom and study. Education not necessarily. We have. I am also cried more hard anyway. I'm in commerce. So education, what John Mahama is basically because if more people are uneducated, the politicians will continuously be able to lord themselves over us, take us for a fool. Because if education is not good, why do they send their children to abroad? I didn't know mama abroad. So we see education in ya. I didn't know mama free Ghana abroad. Kimati was a Kimati school where friends say Aston University. The money school abroad. So education in ya. Why do they pride themselves? Say they went to Yale, Oxford, Cambridge. You see here. So these are the things that you have to understand. Say these politicians are very, very wicked and evil. All that they think about themselves is and that is why John Dramani Mahama is not happy to see a lot of Ghanaians go to school. Not because he wants to talk about quality. Numbers has nothing to do with distracting the quality and Korano ebe here. Now let me give you a little bit of a friend saying education here about the Deng Xiaoping sector I told you about. Or say, please, have you not heard that the MPP are going to review the program? The MPP are reviewing the program based on the curriculum, not based on the numbers. So don't get it twisted. I'm not MPP man here. MPP talking about review is based on the curriculum. And that is where I want John Mahama to start focusing, not numbers. And I'm telling you, say, when it comes to numbers, we should not be thinking about, say, and conform bring the SS to say the John Mahama Ekano, it is Kabibri Ekoshe SS. John Mahama, so these are the things. John Mahama's problem is the numbers. I do SHS, and that is the problem on no original platform. So I can't say the numbers are a problem, and that is the reason why I continuously can say the predominant it is so he should come, and I'm asking a question. If it is that not, if it's not, he should come and state his real reason for the review. Now, as a country, one of the things we have to understand is it is not about plenty people going to the school. We should now have a conversation around the curriculum. Because the curriculum, you real school no. You do what in your jumanya. A chronicle school nursery, echo JSS or Tifie. Wako school how many years? What's nephew? When you like acquire SHS, or real school courses be acquire a better nephew. So if I was John Mahama, instead of arguing about the numbers and the amount of money I call free SHS, I'll start bringing up a conversation about the curriculum. And that is one thing that NPP fire there. They need to be praised. The STEM system, I will introduce it. The STEM system, making sure it's a math, science, and technology. Math, science, engineering, and technology. So it's science, technology, engineering, and maths. And you know, sir, a Crobiano, we need the scientists, we need the mathematicians, we need the engineers, and we need the people with the technology know-how, to move our nation forward, especially in this particular age. So that is where Mahama should, what do I say, bring up his conversation. So at the end of the day, the conversation should not be, so at the end of the day, yenko na ni padom no ekwa SS no, ye make sure say sa ni padom no, yente so, entasu, enyanse bianso eni. And that is the reason why I've told you, say, some people that say John Mahama's intention is to cancel the free SHS may have a small point, even though review does not mean cancellation. Now, yentuas. Ye free SHS now. Ye statistics. Ghana literacy rate from 2000 to a year this year 2024. In 2000, now the literacy rate was below, a friend is saying, somewhere around 50-55% people that can read and understand based on the population census 2010 at that time. It is over 2010 a year population census now. Or say it may improve about 13.6% from 2000 to 2010. No, they improve 13%. Now, offer from 2010 to 2018, no more population census to 2020. No, much as yes, I improve about a year 7.5, 54%. And it's also improve based on a year the Ghana statistics a year department. A year a friend is saying a year the statistics the padodua na eja they can understand, they can read. So currently we have almost about 10 million Ghanaians who are illiterate. It's around, I think, say 7.98 million, 9 million, 10 million. The population of Ghana, I'm told, they say 30 million. And we have 10 million people illiterate people, 10 million. So if you are a president and you are talking to Ghanaians, and you are worried about the intake, then it means that you have a shallow mind. It means that you won't take development as it. Because it is easy for you to develop a nation with people who are literate. At least one could be to SHS level. They can read and they can understand. And this, you can find it at the Ghana Statistical Service Department. What you are seeing? So now the question is, how many people? What you are seeing? How many people are illiterate in Ghana? We have almost 8 to 10 million Ghanaians who are illiterate. 8 to 10 million Ghanaians. For 40 years of MPP and NDC, there were 10 million people. They can't read, they cannot understand. Majority of the people are the people who go and vote. for MPs, for presidents. And now you ask yourself, Rabu says, I see you. Now you ask yourself, how come? Say, since 1992, for 40 good years, we still have 10 million Ghanaians uneducated, illiterate, and we are not worried. And somebody's worry is that Chinchina China, there are a lot of people going to SHS. So for me, when I come, I'll review the numbers. Nyansa edi nyansa ebini. And that is the reason why Professor Jane Nana Opoku Ajman, when it comes to education, why you din on kasa? Because that is her field. She's an educationist. She knows to say we need more people to go to school. And that is what Deng Xiaoping did in China. Everybody was forced to go to school. That is what Deng Xiaoping did. Not only the young ones from the ages of 5 to 15 or 18 or 20, 25. No, even the mothers. They introduced adult education to the Chinese people. So I wonder why people like former President John Mahama is still worried that they discover break or share SHS. I find this disheartening. Now, you can't free SHS Kranwa. The northern sector is already enjoying free education. Free education. Tuition is free in the northern sector. So if you add the southern sector and say let the people in the south also enjoy free tuition fee, what is the problem? What is the problem? For years, since the days of 1957, even before 1957, when we gained independence, the Gordon Gorgesburg people, the governors, in their wisdom, gave the Northerners free education. What is wrong if the Southerners are also being added to this national agenda? Because after all, the Constitution says it. Say, you're progressively free there. By 2002, no, school free, SHS free. But you see, a lot of you, because we don't reason, and we are still clothed in NDC, MPP, don't like to ask the most important questions. I have said, and I have been advocating for these three things: education, health, security. It's about time we have a national policy. Now, the manifesto, the other ones. But education, health, security, we should have a national policy. Because Sawusha, this Obi said, I know you know that boarding school in the UK is not free. See, these are the problems I have with many Ghanaians. The problem I have with many Ghanaians is that they believe that UK boarding school is not free, so Ghana, Chinchina boarding school should not be free. Sometimes I ask myself, what is the knowledge of the Ghanaian who always think, say UK, enye bibia, we say enye UK na ya. How can we do it? Why do you even reason like this, human beings, actually? UK now walk me to and you two gold. If UK had gold, perhaps the boarding would be free. And then I be Monjene. Now, let's move forward. Kwabena Mati. Now let's move forward. Me focus, Papa. The problem with our education has everything to do with the curriculum, because we are still using the colonial system curriculum. We have not changed the curriculum. That is the problem. Rollins came and destroyed the education system. They introduced JHS. What was the purpose of JHS? They did not focus. And these are the NDC people, led by John Mahama, who benefited from free SHS. And today he talks about education anyhow, with impudence, with no respect. But I don't blame him. I blame the followers who are as fool as many of them and can't reason and who don't want to reason. The JHS system destroyed our education system. That is why when they introduced the JHS, Rollins Nicodemously sent his children to the sixth form system. Ask yourself, this is an atomical SS, Wesley Girls movie here. They still had to go and do SAT, TOEFL, get opportunity, and study abroad system. When we know be the 3 years Saba, when we know be the 4 years Saba, Tias and Quadano, and over yo. Ebi kwa nim na bi bachi. Inti MPP ba, kofo yenko 4 years. Atanos, yenko 4 years. Yembra 3 years. Because a MPP na di call 4 years. Inti bisma ba, mekre bibi, misu de beko 3 years. Who suffers? It is the Ghanaian child who suffers. It is the Ghanaian youth who suffers. These are the things. These are the things that we need to understand. These are the reasons why we have to understand. And sometimes, thank you so much, sir. And sometimes we have to understand, say, young to me continuously play with our education. That is why, as a Ghanaian, all of us have to call for a national agenda, a national policy on our education. We need a national policy on education. Where that policy, no, ye tintim so, obia de ye adwuma, obia ba no odi so. Because you see, there are many talents, many gifted children, boys and girls, that goes waste in our country. Because their talent and their skills was not appreciated. We couldn't fine-tune where we can fix or place these people, or because the education, it prepare us to leave the shores of Ghana and start seeking for employment in other countries, in Europe and in America. It doesn't prepare us to be thinkers, people that can reason and say that let us add value to the gold in Obuasi. Let us add value to the timber from Odan. Let us add value to the coconut in Nzema. Because the curriculum does not expand the brains of the Ghanaian. to reason into Ubasha. Ye too gold, no? Near the court, UK. Ye chat timber, no? Near the Abedu Tema Port. Near the court China. Na Mahama. Any Alban Sumana Babin. Na Yakoton Konye free China. Near the Abedu Parliament. The ton of boarding. No more ready budget. Millions of dollars was used to go and buy furnitures from China. The furniture no you got to free China. The raw materials ain't free. Every Ghana. And these are the reasons why we need a national agenda. When it comes to education, when it comes to health, and when it comes to security. So that you bet to me, and we say curriculum now you use since the days of God in Godisberg more. It is not helping. It is making us more poorer. It is not making us reason. It is not making us improve. That is why you see, look around Ghana. There is no one region. As for this region, in terms of development, the BBR will be. Apart from the capital city, and no crown puno. And yeah, easy. Roads crying. These are the things. And you who say, yet to mining. Now you crack toothpick. I mean, even so. Now you crack a diawi, yet your mind be a crack diawi. When our JHS people, after JHS, and can Koran bet me. But you see, education system, the curriculum, no, and expand it and macrani reason so bet me an inventor. Debbie. And expanded that reasoning. It will be a JHS. When to me and to Aswa during Mahama time, when your school fees enter and secondary school, Wakafi, Jobedani Kayayi. A man for best mass man, one shame you be teenage pregnancies and whoever, because champagne be our NDC slave follower, and any other political party slave follower, be take advantage. Common toothpick, you crack. The nation. 1978 was the revolution of education in China. 11 good years. Deng Xiaoping changed the destiny of Chinese people. 700 million people were taken out of poverty. The same years, Rollins in Yamor, he could not take 20 million people out of poverty. With these same people, these same so-called people, among for Monjane, become thinkers. If not, you will follow political parties and we will never get anywhere because they don't care. That's why we tell address for Bekacho say, "Se me busuya di meya, or you okay?" And yes, an impeswa so for the meya or you okay? No. Never. Never, never, never. Now, but this a man for Thai cancer same way. As a third world country, where Jimmy Tina Wajia to say we are third world, because who will go diamond, bauxite, manganese, and you still want people to refer to you as a third world, then it means that you are not thinking and you are not reasoning to add value to all the natural resources you have. Now, adding value to the natural resources, you need education. The education is the information. Abenyahu said, "Bobanu aye tu no, ibetim dia A, B, C, D. Amanfaso aba wo man so." TME. So why am I dream mbia? Ubeko so ye kwasiampanyi ni political slave. Because you see, the most important thing in this our life, and he say, when your education no, China ni ebeba ukrom no abetu gold. Obi a wate America ebeba ukrom no abefa wo as slaves. Obi a wo Canada, Saskatchewan Road. Obi a Saskatchewan. Awo wom. But they are able to protect themselves. Leading a nation is very, very simple. But our politicians make it look like it's so hard. And the underlying reasoning is that they are not willing and ready to sacrifice. That is why building a nation, Ghana, is hard to the NDC people and it's hard to the MPP people. Because the moment they will build the nation, the moment they start thinking about building the nation, it means they have to sacrifice. These people are not willing and ready to sacrifice. That is why our brothers and sisters in the North suffers. Ashanti region are suffering. Voltarians are suffering. Ghanaians are suffering. Frank with us, you see with us. That is why the nation, we are suffering. Because the politician wants to steal the money for education and build houses. The politicians want to steal the money for hospitals and buy cars. The politicians want to steal the money. I see you. That is meant to build bridges. Because they don't want to sacrifice. They are not thinkers. And they don't reason. And because they don't think and don't reason, for 40 good years, my brothers and sisters, MPP and NDC for 40 years, they've not been able to even construct 220 kilometers of double road from Accra to Kumasi for 40 good years. And that is why majority of their followers have become slaves. They can't think, they can't reason. All that they want is to see a man's face. That is why people follow them, because 10 millions of Ghanaians, 10 million of our entire population is illiterate. 10 million per the Ghana Statistical Service report. 8 million to 10 million Ghanaians are illiterate. They cannot read, they cannot understand. If we joke with the country's education in terms of numbers, then that person who is talking about review and wants to review the numbers is not a serious person at all. Not a serious person. The conversation at this year should be, how can we change the curriculum? How can we change the curriculum so that in the next 10 years, we can have people who become scientists. We can have people who become engineers. People that will become plumbers, electricians. But today, what do we see? We see politicians saying they will build houses for Kayayes. instead of making sure that the root causes of our problems will be solved. Omo nyesa. Omo de ene say. Ye be ye nneoma nkakra bi. E de ama wo man Ghana no. Na ye wia kese no. These are people that our nation gave them opportunity. The opportunity that Mother Ghana gave them was to serve and sacrifice to the nation. That is why today, the word sacrifice is not in the dictionary of the Ghanaian child. Because the Ghanaian child is asking himself or herself the question, if a Kufuado is not sacrificing, why should I sacrifice? If John Mahama is not sacrificing, why should I sacrifice? If the MPs are not sacrificing their V8 for good roads, why should the Ghanaian child sacrifice? If the minister is not sacrificing his ex-gratia and always waiting for ex-gratia, why should the Ghanaian child sacrifice? So that is why these days, we don't see sacrifice among our people. And it has become a tug of war. MPP will come and steal as much as they can or as many as they can, and they will leave the nation in despair. And then they will go. And then NDC will come and continue the stealing, looting brigade. They will steal as if there is no tomorrow. Now the question I ask myself, with all the monies that they steal, where do they send the monies to? They buy houses in UK and take photos in UK and send it back to our brothers and sisters in Ghana. And they tell them that you could chop photo green grasses. You could not see CNN building. So you see President John Mahama will travel to America. No, I could not see CNN building. No, I could chop picture. And then you hear a Kufuado speaking English as if he was born and bred in UK. Meanwhile, he only spent just like 4 or 5 years. And then you see NDC followers shouting, "Yeah, Mama, nete America, a shuffle to your CNN, a shuffle to your Jame." Then you hear the MPP political slaves also saying, "Hey, Nanado, what come bro for Papa? Irish Kontumri and Zankwa." Ladies and gentlemen, until we liberate ourselves and start asking questions, we will not get to where we have to get to. And biblically, it tells us, for lack of knowledge, my people perish. Ghana is perishing because 10 million citizens lack knowledge. Ghana is perishing because 10 million of our entire population can't read and write. I will say that until the day we kick out these two political parties, we will get nowhere. That is why, behind the scenes, myself, Dr. Abu Sakara, and many other people are making sure that we will put together men, especially the people that have lived in Europe, to come up with patriotic Ghanaians, people who are willing and ready to sacrifice for Mother Ghana. Dr. Abu Sakara, Nena. The way I come fire and man for no ever happening. And that is the reasons why we can only develop. I'm ready to say, oh,
Charlie, you're out. And sometimes you did your program need come out back door. Now you need to be more approach Casase na I will say Queen say yeah grandpa you be hunu krempo you so many now one waka esum ni mo no you be get den na agye
Oh.
Yeah, my minimum or moon says no to her. And yet, above 4 net take. Now, Nipa does know that dear way, it be prying. It be woo. It ain't no ties. It ain't no way, you stay. Now, you ain't now what you be wood ye. You just say you be wood. You be woo. Name won't be twins a young way, no. You see a people. You be queer one, I say, Benyanqua. Get to what ye ding, Nipa crack your dream. I could do a form. Almost so many meters. I could do far more a while no they is so sheer at the fed. In your farm, Wakaton, and when you're not Diane. I would do gold kick a wood. That I would do so in I. Still, Nipa said, maintain on one say. Now, you ain't paying 300 years because America take 300 years. Yes, we follow the same trend.
Na me ba kwabena ubetwasu ehonu dey point no so we elaborate ye ye bo wiase ye din kan bo America na Britain ansa na ye bo Ghana na
one make you red order one can say we ya na we copy na wa ye bi one can say ye na ye ya de kro one can say na ye secret time and then they just say you executive one can and one is so na one by man by yemra na so one ye bi a just say it is the benin munyansa or the bedidi ama to say what the home accommodate no na wa fa ni sika kraka da kwa je this application fee na bro na ka chene say there be wa ware na wo Ghana no e na ware ba inti me ma won ba na wa tra ho e di ware ho there be na se o je ja ho ma e de be ya
oh yes hey it's like the jungle yeah it's like the jungle
so wo be ho kwara no abodogi style ama oyiri anyam 9 months na wawo na watete kwada no me be say Ghana me one more e ma me no more feel say the way I model wo mo ho me ba wa Canada me ba wa America no me be say in so mo ni ni o mo a why na be people mo amo e dollar ne ba dollar no e sense you money pa no akopado o man wo approach no why na be hwe o tumfo yi ona no nyina ti UK Germany a ye ye nkutuma no se na na one ne ho a why na be pa mo ama it is kind of bad can again is kind of you see they are not sitting down to understand this say buy ye pay na e ye juma de be pay you me who be a wa ba approach a ye just say apan man is free me who be ye juma ko application ko ne ye na ye ko feel ne ye juma ye akwa ba ye ma ye paycheck every 2 weeks it is some na ye sum mo ye approach no ye ya sum ni bo Ghana na ye ne mo ye technologies o mo hihye for mo le cables for internet one more thing on electricals, one more year on one day, ye might be my healthcare sector. Ye me and Rawa Ghana. Now, oh, car, we say, why should we educate Ghanaians? Why? What take to UK? Say, UK school, a boarding house. Debut, not school, a Ghana, a school. That e block is a school. For now, we be best by this upon sign that will be copied about what. It's the day into the UK school, Eddie now, what a Kwame Dias for. I mean, and then the same people, go school approach are the same people writing this nonsense on social media. It said, they think the same. Abrofuno was some supernatural power be on Monday and Yama doctor. I mean, I don't get it.
Now why 10 million people are illiterate. 10 million people and you been more political slaves on do attempt abua kwasia we are disappointed NDC, we are disappointed MPP, or more political slaves because they cannot reason beyond. They cannot reason. Tell me, and I'm actually on statistics, no statistics, na me the amount. And the statistics is telling us.
Reason. Because when you reason, you go and sit and look for solutions to your problems. You don't run away from it. You don't know from it. And how many times you lead this year, I could tell you hospital approach it. And they think say, oh, let them talk. Oh, 240, when we catch us a sack, I say, oh, you David, or you David, never be shut up, and I be shut. I probably catch us, oh, 240, and sorry, not G on in so pony power, the hospital back so. But they said that they maintain. Now we are when you come this by the own name, just my worker. The day this idiot got common sense to sit down some about that, more for comedians, I could to move from Michigan among commercial now on three. Our G2 must say, he has a problem. Not the Anshan and I will be Uno. The question is, sometimes these people think, say, we don't have the money, we don't have the resources, but the minute you accept that you have a problem, okay, you don't know where the money will even come from. You don't even know who is rich in your family to come to your rescue. Just for acceptance, say, I have a problem and I need solution. You don't know how many doctors are assigned for. You don't know how many engineers are. They are willing to omudin ko black so near fan boko say Tia yes in the Biomono, Medin Kahumbi, Opa, or East Legon police station and still come there for the CEO, or Shade Diaguso, on the kind of one of them on the police station because they said, say, we want a police station here, and somebody volunteered his own money to put up a police station. Does this step only come in that fight? Hell no, it's the whole community. So, all we are asking our leaders now is to accept, say, we have a problem. For all you know, they are to say that I help build Ghana the right way. But you know what? They won't do it because the selfishness and the hypocrisy is playing at large. Oh, we don't have the men. Oh, we don't have the resources to educate the whole Ghanaians. Who told you? When they can say here,
oh, but they have the money to buy V8. They have the money to buy cars for their slave queens. They have the money to take their children on holidays. They have the money to go to hospital abroad.
We do this to ourselves. Another tribe, tribalism. Another terrorism. What do you call that? Self-destruction? And when you have a machine, a robot, self-destructing, now who who change or obey or day? So one cast out time, one of the phone cast out to me, and what would you do to me? And we don't even know what we are doing. Our leaders are like, wait, like, who to Mahama, who to Bass on the boat Toronto FC? Not just as of okay, you see, and how stupid is this guy to even say you should vote for me? And people think say this guy can save somebody in Ghana. Only in the part of Toronto FCU. No one said there's a problem with Kotoko, there's a problem with Olympus. And one for you, the first class treatment, but I'll bet people to Toronto. My university movie because
Toronto League ni Ghana League krampunka de na papa. Yama rasa sasha kumbrem. Yama rasa sasha kumbrem.
Yeah, nana ya chao. Bra kwanza.
Nana.
Michamu nyina.
Ya Jozo papa pe.
Doc.
Yes.
Doc, mema feel it. Actually, this session.
Okay.
Because last week, we organized Africa Continental Trade, whatever it is. Guyana President Alpha Ali.
Yeah.
Oh baby. Yeah.
Also, Namibia President Niesu open Ukraine to Wewu.
Yeah.
Africa, they will be open to be open in them.
Whatever get together, yeah, there is a connect be later
Yo.
Dog, open can't say I'm not near coach to a champion time no. Now yeah, qualitative and qualitative reasoning.
Yeah.
Now a back comment transcribe the whole topic crap back. Son about who you my post on
if they are in a weather form.
Yeah. Logical reason, yeah.
Logical reasoning, yes, sir. Dog, as I know, it is absent in Ghana educational system.
Oh, and these days we don't even do this kind of a friend.
Okay, what am I doing? Because we maintain that. And the mayor got 40 years old.
It is dog. What are the benefits of religious and moral studies on present Ghana economic crisis? Dog, you know much more than I do. Dog, you need much more than I do. And I know foreign countries who are portraying. Dog, yes, I know Oklahoma. What do you mean? Bible knows some teacher, class,
now we're chrono we learn the history of Obi Mansu. We don't even learn the history of our country.
What did Jesus Christ use to create human being?
Jesus story. What exactly is he going to advance Ghana's economic fortunes? Storytelling, even what Obaya was what we call Obaya, baby, mythology. This doesn't have any effect here when so.
And you see, we follow blindly because we have not empowered our youth with wisdom. That is why we follow blindly. We follow blindly. And you see, our leaders think said. That is the thing.
They don't know anything.
You see,
I 2x4 with saw. He can't even measure with the tape. This is the reality on the ground.
Yeah, So who goes to school?
So let's go.
Thank you. Thank you. School, yeah. Technical courses.
Yes.
Unim said school on a baby furniture, student furniture, classroom. You're playing students. Homework. After all said and done, they bring it together to make a whole table at the math students.
I said years ago, my big brother said, "Say no more control, no or science, no so more exams now. I'm a instrument ni be work ready to work thermometer cra na e mu kra ni ma de cro. Other school for be a bar ne ho. Almost someone a science center. In the other schools now, money science center schools. No bar ebe chomo final exams. Omo buy cry be mu kra nim apparatus no say instruments ni we be mu kra nim. Ko hu da. Oh hu da. That's about
metal work. I am mechanical engineering. Maybe I Canada. Now me say the mind mechanical engineering. Maybe say metal work. Maybe say me be port. Yeah, you might your bank of so that's all we did with metal work.
That is what I'm saying. So the education, amount for because numbers now here for we should not be having that conversation. The conversation should be situated on say your curriculum, why requirements you bet me expand it. Yeah, they be a trend so obroni Emfa bibi from bra, onfa bibi from Maya, yenko sunya yen soon to me for bibi. Because we are not investing into the science and research, And it is here trying, okay, yes, be a metaverse where imagination meets reality. And into here trying, and yes, idea, yentimi conquer, a Bruni fan by ya, yentimi conquer. So why anything that they be another white man will sit down and say, it's a third world country because third world, no, it's not because of who materials, no. Or person just say you are not reasoning. Do you see? You are not becoming. You've not made up. You have not made up the point to say,
oh. We like it. We are country. We are. And we will be there. We will be there.
Dog. Can't wait critique jokes. program bi so wɔ Kumasi Ghana also shipbuilder no
Yeah.
Dr. City said shake no
Yeah.
on make it comment be but one of the yesterday about they didn't think deep okay say university professors engineers all these students now when we go engineering course in the environment one now Kumasi brewery factory no break it down almost machine be one engineer basis into one engineering course from Koya and one ni ma one Indiana one Kumasi brewery Koya Opia said but the guy is telling them reality.
That's the truth. That's Ghana, you see, there's sensible things when we talk about it. Amount for taking a say is a joke. You see, it's because most of us have been clouded in that a friend is saying politics, no, NDC and BP. So Obana who provoking the thought of leaders of NDC, provoking the thoughts of leaders of MPP, which I just what time Mahama, what time Kufuado. But it's not about Mahama or Kufuado. No. It's about Ghana. And if I don't ask that question, Mahama will not sit down and reason. Say, no, I saw me also. He will become the ordinary, the average president. I don't want Mahama to be an average president. So I will provoke his thoughts. I don't want a Kufuado to be an average. Already is in the football age. I feel when you're 10 years. I feel when you're 10 years to so you see, when you are provoking the thoughts of these leaders, no bit old time we know. Ghana Come and pass. No question.
It is how it has been. So, like physics, no, the car wants to keep going straight, the body wants to stay in motion. It's a careful now. There has to be uncomfortableness. We have to go through this to get the change. We have to go through this time because the initial we are facing the wrong direction. We will have to feel uncomfortable. And this is it. And we are not letting go. Every candidate will be best scrutinized. They say, you're creating TV platforms. When the policy be too much, you're better diagnosed politics. You're better diagnosed every single policy. Last minute to cry, you're baby.
Yes.
What is the business of the government buying a VA from MP and ministers? The people don't like to see. But Dr. Ray, America manufactured suggested retail price. Basic, $45,000. Specs mayo, specs added on, extra.
Now, you see, the thing is that we as a people, we should understand, say, we are stakeholders of our nation. A krona yetibono. Enya Mahama nkwa de awu. Yeah, stakeholders. It is a mimi.
We hold them accountable.
It is a mimi bisa question. As a wunu feel say bisa question. Shut up and go where you follow Mahama. Yedi na me a stakeholder. Mami bisa me question. Because me sumi a Ghanaian. Who nya Ghanaian say me?
Question Mahama said. Also be review. Which part of the
review?
What is wrong with that? Why can't we ask questions? Why can we not? Because it has been a trend. Say, whatever slogan they do, no, we don't question it. Because holistic curriculum and review.
Tell us.
Tell us.
Let's hear it. Say, numbers no na better so. Catch it. Now they obey review carry. Hey, when the president da o, so baby. Enti so sa na fabra because what can we view? I get pride.
Me can't do what I said. Me can't be you. Me na me tell one thing ko be say me na say nana. You go say way. Papa we sorry 86 years old. Ni refuse to work sticks. Ko for. Na kuma ba. He does not accept say me the third generation no. Me ma past the second generation no. Every be that third generation question. Ko be who free no ako.
Any
who free.
You see that the problem they say Jesus ano who be sack question say kawanutum umwade we empanyin sem de do. Hey,
akwala no go school Monday morning. Assemble teacher baby son so how was the weekend? Teacher be so set nearby. Akwala no can be bina is against school policy. You better press social service. Social service, you know, your friend on so police.
yeah.
Police the bar, now I chill, but I say one corner.
Yes.
At the separate more. Yeah, got that intelligence. You say, what I will for the intro when but small boy, no, but my show them will be in AP. Yes, sir.
Who say yedi no? Who say yedi no? Yedi no. And I'm sa entity, you know, and that is why I always say breaking the generational curse. Maybe it's not you see that I hear a friend is saying say me bisa question. Now people get upset with it. It's a question. And I've said it, say, there is nothing like foolish question in this world. The answer you out the man, and the people say a foolish answer. So the question is simple. Sir Mahama Sobe review free SHS. He should tell Ghanaians. Curriculum now be review, another intake, and I'll be review. Because we've heard him saying, say, Sika bebre no ede kwa kwashe free SHS. Nyansa nim. Adani ewo sika say ya edini nyina ekwo free SHS. And I ask myself, say, how can we develop a country when 10 million Ghanaians, according to Ghana Statistical Service, almost 10 million Ghanaians cannot read and write? So if we want to develop a nation, we need these 10 million people also to understand basic things. For example, I give this thing. Akufo-Addo said, making Accra the cleanest city. Okay, everybody went to sleep. It is a good policy, but also said you can trust because making Accra the cleanest city. That is the thing. The 10 billion for Omontias here. MPP and NDC's political slaves.
How can they even help? If they are willing to help, how they know say you go? Madam be compared to my net here in Montreal, and they say to French. And they are quiet now. Yes, you can't throw it to French because they put you money day. And I get a catch say. I'll say them very bit more. Doctor, with the group again, do 50 no head as you now.
Yeah, what's with the French?
If you don't know, say go means we are still standing.
That is
our president say, "This your mind." And the enemy say, "Abroche ball a green or a compost, blue the recycle black." Anyway, nothing we are present or demonstrate actually a buying school for the private sector. But local no more now you won't say as a Ghanaian the mood you not say a idea it fertilizer it too green. Now it has become a scar on his mind forever and ever. Or remember you don't put that in the black bin, it goes in the green. A 5-year-old kid is mad in America. No,
to ask questions, no, it opens doors for us to answer, and it opens doors for solutions. But yeah, the who could be a question I say, oh, Kawanutum.
I will make Accra the great city. I kind of try.
And what kind of try? Yes.
on any type or many the faith. Now, that would be senior brother or a lecturer at John Hopkins University. Now, who said, or Ethiopia, you're one relative, Mengistu. Who said, or what Brano Kuma on the Academy Banner woman. And one come a year, I am one, Gayana Bidia, on your man, one of the special spices. Akwara di beye terms of 12 years. And so on any back of farm and Aquashenia, Mukum Abuano, Johnny Aqualan Koye, the Chaboni Tina, the Aquan, no, the Buffy, or Banana Aquana reserve. By the officer, a normal. Oko school Monday, and the teacher said so. We are then Aquana man is a sort of teacher say, the Papa didn't call farm be. Now, a young engineer, they all near Chibaco. And Trinity to Trinity, Mujana Byron. Not teacher say, oh, was he, oh, why you depressed? Or other teacher, no friend, social service. Social service, no born a man. Social service in Banana Police Count. Police, the sharp. No, you got your papa or classroom outside the Dawkins. Yeah, on say, yeah, has say no. Yeah, what crying eh? No, on D18 or your property of the state. Yes, sir. Yes, or your property of the state. But Ghana so you was Amra now, but Obiaya they will pay because 10 million for no woman Tiasia, read and write. No one read and write from Tiasia, don't cry, Bobo, one crowd on Mukasa say, educated illiterates. Yeah, also. What do I say? It's your Mahama Bakacha also may review no one church. I say, a Kufa Bakacha also making a crowd cleaner city. Womukoshia one. Now the Bakoni Chrome Chebi. Instead of Baka a year in the Chrome Casa, no cabrofu. Mahama Bakoni Chrome Northern region. Instead of Baka Casa or Moti, no cabrofu. Obeko water region. Instead because you want to make a kind of city, they will question you. That's the thing. People are not understanding what they are saying in that stupid parliament of theirs. The identity. So parliament's another country, Ghana's another country. If you walk on the street and it's a rap or go interview, they don't know that they are the same people who elected them there. There's disjoining. I cannot disjoining. But the Uncle country and a kind of poetry, the most of 270 pounds was in Koma, ye dear coalition. The inside then your president be a or the Nyansa. Actually, or mine say, Bah me be a crime waste now, maybe first or me a year for a free or mining. Now, maybe 16 region, no. Minim Bronubia a year for the way. Minim one potential. Minim Nioma met me idea boa. Inti say maybe upper east for maybe say this in a mayor. Say this in a mayor, yen able to me at what neighbor ye a free or him to set the danger pin ye nipa 700 million a free or him poverty. You can read about the fact. Nipa tetia to say Kufuado. It is a fact. Any party to say Kufuadu Yinipa 700 million free Onyemo. Not Ghana. Now the conversation is that we have to be having solution-based conversation. And you may see, oh, Missy Kagetia, and I already buy me the buy me the way back. Just say, what's here all the conversation now? I hear too much populism. Populism. Now, folks, Samambo, yes, ma'am. Yeah, Yanko.
Let me get Canada.
Oh, I said, look at you, chairman of NDC, Nimbawa Canada. Anna.
Fighting to seek the best. On my baby, the mother of a baby. I bet my day and swap in the two hands. Because I can't find of course,
now they are okay. What are you talking about? All of them, 275 MP.
all the 200 MPs, 274. Why not the bush any Omon Tamarin Babe to Abuchi? Yamu free healthcare. A country of their choice, Europe and America. Yan can't almost Africa country. A country of their choice, Europe and America. And Omudu Omumako. Eko Sound Moyari. Now, who citizen, who to Omami Swansu, or Kochabe, Omami Quaco, Equaco Bubo, a dear and son when you be. Then you support these two political parties. You are mad. Ah. Rollins, Epamu, a friend is a Jatu, a year Nordna, a friend is a Liman, 1981, 31st December. Rollins, Epamu, Liman, bodyguards in a Busom say, Liman Busom say, I want creme, Hene Shele. Oh, Charlie, we are seeing Ghana, yes, oh, Charlie. They have to seek, a friend is saying, a political asylum somewhere. And into most of the people, Switzerland, many of them, these station people are boy money, those people, a lot of them, political asylum in Switzerland. Rollins buy from 1981, ABC to 2000. When Timian built 2 lanes, dual road, 200 kilometers. You go share a friends in Norway. For Canada, how many lanes there?
Canada connected the whole at the same time. The railway across 6, number 8, number 7, number 6, number 5. You know why? Because they know they need it. They have accepted say we don't have shores, so when there's only shore in Vancouver, no, oil, your timber, your cars, from coast to coast by rail. We both for better the money back. And I hope on only UPS photo.
Catch him.
I say synchronizing business. Commercial about the share synchronizing business. You got 3 distinct time zones. America have UPS business and running 24/7, 365 days. FedEx and running 24/7, 365 days.
Now,
synchronizing business.
What Ghana? 10 million people cannot read and write. Illiterate. Now, and now that you 40 years of MPP and NDC. Yet Ghana, a lot of people are America say to the Uti a friend is Uti Ghana on here ti abroche cancer and pana chrewa. Our people are jokers.
President took car already in the chair back 40.
Oh, Mahama call a friend is saying
People don't know. They don't know.
Mahama cop campaign move 4x4 didn't it? On by Yemponi.
Who fueled this cars? Who fueled it?
Ask the question again. Who fueled it? All of them. Omupa ibe cons my ekobodia. Some real Ghana skada. July P. July Diamond. July. Oh.
1 P8 Batman 6 cash room block. I'm a community.
Forgive me for my bad manners. Yeah. What exactly are they craving for? What exactly are they craving for? Every each one of them want to be rich overnight.
Look, I'm signing off. I just want to say, I know that some of you know, it's okay.
Yeah, it's
Some
okay.
of us, I mean, I'm 22 years in this country. It's my family. All I know is
Hey,
we are
Beye were not in regional. Ah, now, pa, yeah, chair before, not John Mahama to honor a president, not about me a vice president. Yeah, chair before. Which camp? Who called Ghana? Which camp? Abroche, you what care home, no? Not in regional, which camp? Again, Jimmy.
Halloween, a source of entertainment.
Ah, that's it.
pumpkin way, entertainment. And the pumpkin couple, you know how it came about? They were just planting it to cover the land, just to cover the land before the next season. Yeah, maybe you could talk about Papa be far more. And I'm saying, it's one piece. I say, combine harvest is to wow.
Massa.
And I can say, now, what do we human beings even think? Nutrients now, you deal with me anymore. And one way you be dealing and one way you deal, and then one at the back.
Yeah. What knowledge
are we sticking from heaven to come on this?
MPP ni NDC. The only thing I am on my Ghana and they say, "Oh my, Tom Banch ni body will from near Tom padlock or table so. Oh my idea." MPP ni NDC. Oh my, because Ghana for no do one of do much age me for. Oh my, Jimmy. We are much any. We are much any. A country where 8 million Ghanaians are illiterate. 8 million, no, 10 million, 8 to 10 million illiterate too. The Oma boy MPP and this Doma Yama Yang. And he said, hey, go for the papa de Wosikao and it's not your crown for. Hey, Mahama, or Baba dear, as Mahama said 4 years, so to be fine every MPP and this for no. The only time a Ghana be is when they start questioning their leaders. Because you know, and that is where they have
to speak. The custom is right? If you come up with answer question, I bet it was so we want them to talk.
And I want say, yes, see, come now, say, one cassa with 2 head. I don't think MPP near this, your body, because followers think cassa. And it's no almost 4x4 no team no campaign no more so no.
They are still surprised. They are still surprised why we are here. They are surprised almost why we are here. We are here because this is what we want for ourselves.
Yeah, doc, we should development. I call power canning. I could say gamble be on gamble. Of course, I could say chess be our way.
Who is checking? Who is checking? Who has the checklist? I want check is there. I'm a Ghanaian. This is not right, so I'm going to speak out. Share me could be restaurant do Ghana, and they are dealing with seafood. Now the reason why seafood is expensive because the handling, who they are grab now they talk cotton. Me cotton is so black neighbor. Me they call agriculture must say cotton, and people were heading me back. Say, "Mommy, call." Look at this, and then the same person can approach there. What can I say? Yeah, which mean to come back. And I asked them, say, "Is it Muti and Kara? Muti say, Nakupono or Doyen separate same one." I said, "Just a year will put it out, and I say, you will be a mummy." You gotta ask questions. So when I went them say, "Papa, Kotono, I want now as usual, the Ghana mentality came first." I'm a phone. I got on the helmet. It's not about the money, but you are maybe food poisoning. And the same people will tell you, man, Kata. And one of the platform is to say, we shouldn't ask questions. So, attitude. Why? Because this is who we have been for all these years. And we understand that it will take some of them the same amount of years of to correct. Because the good word not have to come. No more tipi. It's not freedom fighters. Say, one more pretend force, one job. The one face of Muji did on Panembra.
That's all.
Yeah, basically, but the man in Yamo say, yeah, buy. You decide you will be 5 years old. That be that. Yeah, 5 years.
Yeah, so as your son, we know both two parties what they've done to Ghana. But we support two third force. Mabisa,
Oh, we do. But the ground is not fertile.
Mabisa, question, no. Now, will they allow the person?
That is what I'm saying. The ground is not good.
Two parties in now, we are cartel.
See, you be a dream more. When the bottom change, the top has to change. And gradually, no, it will happen. People are beginning to question, say, hey, and it will take momentum. And then momentum
You see, what we have to understand is, and what people have to understand is, it is up to is for all of us to start asking questions. You need to start questioning your leaders as chiefs and people, opinion leaders, MPs, ministers, DCs, assemblymen. You question. That's it. We free Western regional. You need to start questioning your leaders. Who are Water region? You need to start questioning the people. Who are Upper East, Upper West? How come, sir, we live in Ghana and people are dying in Boko, and we are not talking about it? How come, sir, we live in Ghana and your friend is saying Sancho Kofi, Akpafu, Lolobi, Likpe, they don't have a representative in Ghana, parliament. They don't have a representative in parliament, and nobody is talking. I got to about 2020 election. MPU, and nobody talks about it because it's about NDC, it's about MPP. In the NDC, you know, all numbers. NDC, all numbers. I saw about Chobo, no demand for human rights for the people of Sancho Kofi, Akpafu, Lolobi, Likpeno, on you. Also about power.
Or do you man 147? I think I'm 148.
Mama, 1 minute now. You wrap it up. 1 minute. I will say 1 minute from you.
But it is up to them to listen.
Yeah. And you see, and I know, sir, they all kind of say
they should take a bold initiative.
You see, one thing they say we have to understand, say more a year can not more no so amount for so preachy adrenal and such we also have to continuously do what we're doing. And that is why Jesus Christ came. It was 12 disciples, and today he's dead and gone, and still people believe in his message. Papa, but we have to continuously to preach the word. We have to. We should not give up, because you see, I didn't know do. Meme kano now or any day they can freedom fighters they can Otuaba can you know one more a combat one more because joining NDC omunko. Oh yeah, I need yeah. Second Kanish. Oshodi agege. Omunko joining NDC. Omesaba back to here say kind and he said it's because I've been there. I was there. This one more political slaves. He might be that. We will know. You see, these are the things that we have to understand. We should never stop talking about Ghana, and we should never stop demanding best for our mother Ghana. It is mother Ghana, not father Ghana. It's mother. And if you love your mother, you will fight for your mother to be developed. And in fight, and about UK, almost selecting Nipa as a becronym because Mamin Jubia. And now Germany, you're selecting coffee. Yes, you're shopping, you're selecting. Now, what are you talking about? Hey, Kwabena, what are you talking about? Nobody is just allowed to enter the country, America. What you are saying?
And your money is on the table first.
Now they refuse to crown why I'm for come out. What are you talking about? When they refuse, they refuse to for come out. And it is because majority of people like the Comfort Dogbemono are political slaves who have not been enlightened, and they still live in the slavery era of the NDC. The same thing with the MPP followers. What you are saying? That's it. Almost no come. So they want a quick fix. You see, because MPP feeds people's family, and NDC feed people's family. So those people who are aligned to those food they are the people who will always fight for NDC to come to power and not for Ghana to develop. Because we've seen 20 years of NDC under a year Rawlings regime. 19 years if Ghana would have developed. Okay, that should have been at that era. So that system of NDC leaders now have failed West. It only produces people who are talkatives and not people who come and change the destiny. The same thing with a friend is an MPP. Producing people who are thieves, criminals, who lie with what? A language of English. And that is why some of us, a friend said dishonesty. They don't love the nation Ghana. They don't love Ghana. And if they love Ghana, they will put Ghana first and not their political party first. And that is the reason why today we see Ghana say, a country like Ghana, Rwanda is even better than Ghana. A country like Ghana, Johannesburg is better. South Africa is better than Ghana. That is why Ghanaians are going to South Africa and our women are being beaten. Xenophobia. Our people are being beaten because we continuously do political slaves. We continuously do a year so train MPP and NDC.
We are the pushers now. Yeah, you pushers on the back. And you put the people, and the black on black, don't say Mombra UK. Man, lady may want to Mombra Canada. Mombra, come your numbers, come. Go and write your start. Go and do this, go and do that, go and take your medical. Medical and fire in the day.
When him say years ago, near Boya Mammy and an animal, and almost says slay a year dungeon, and they almost said a dime near the Omo boating. In Sony Yasochia. Now, honey, and to me, baby, and a GBA Gupunim, sacrifice you. Today, the man that forced us to come to their country are not forcing us. Today, we are
giving you a boarding pass.
Today,
I'll 32 seat 5.
Today,
boarding pass,
today we assemble at the embassies, and before we assemble at the embassies, we will go and pray 5 times in a day as Muslims. We'll go to the mountains and go and cry Haraba Kadababa as Christians, all because we want a visa.
I know. I'm a visa go Ghana. And I'm a friend Azuka. I'm Azuka, yeah. I'm Azuka. My court 3 times, I bomb return. 3 times, Ghana pass Ghana visa. Yes, yeah, for me. I see, I'm right in Peru. Let me see, dog. I also, and then I'm in Peru. Now, why Ghana visa requirement? Me find out which is the FFP. But I a rubber stamp because this is how we want to treat our country.
And
we want to take every idiot in. We even get this on arrival. I am a on arrival.
Obi Konya, I NDC for no more crewman, any MPP for more crewman. Omunya American visa, ne British Omunya American passport, ne British passport. Kodas you MPP ni NDC followers. NDC MPP followers no. Who want more important British and American passport? They are proud. Hey, achievement for MPP and NDC followers. I will say achievement. Anyway, one minute. I may wrap it up now. Kabna ora sasreku 1 minute na because say I ready ni me koku na me go break me fast.
We've spoken a lot. So either have ears to listen.
Yeah.
And do the right thing. That's what I can say.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you so much. Kabna?
Doc,
yes.
Enyama mu a mode bom mo sapon se mo ti approach mode pro mu nanu mi a adom kon a ebini betime twensuo aba abedu na omo say sana have your rent haso ye to duane. It is what they have done, and this is what they say they want this for themselves. They want double lane roads na yeah road market. They want this, they want that, and they have worked to get it. God didn't give it to them. They took the same resources that and they say, you know what? when we do the road this way and that way, no, not in China, say, yeah, in your thickness, no, 6 inches. They be say a big result in your surface of 2 every time, everything is behind. This is what they say they want for themselves. Now, we as Ghanaians and as Africans, the question is, what do we want for ourselves? If this is what we want, then let's start complaining. Because we created this. This was not given to us. We had the whole country, and this is how we have built the system. I can say, nobody am forcing and say, and yes, Ghana can have a third force. If we, say, chain and more Ghana instead. Say na nipa tibiati, nipa nyapwa, nipa ngofo, nipa numufi. It me be so na pipe na social wa hana ntunyu wa. Yes, nipa na ye because this is what our shop man. We can do it. You bet me to your susika. Yeah, man, you bet my man of money says susika wa Ghana mana because that is what we want and we must have it whether rain or shine. And yes, it takes work. Because to me be anywhere, et me ye be mo be, to me be anywhere school dying. To me, be no car wine, a nipa. Instead, him said, I am my own pedia. Let's get back on the drawing board and fix it. We know the context. The NDC people know on one of they have brought us here. If they have something for us now, they would have done it already.
Yeah.
They don't have anything.
That's true. That's true.
And they cannot turn around and come and say they have something. They don't have anything. It's time to say, I know it's the money being more. It remained a cliche to say, it's impossible to say, Ghana and I say by force, we have to go this NDC MPP. No.
Oh, no. Yeah. It's not about that too. The freedom fighters, there's not about go by force NDC. Nobody can tell me. 40 years, I know MPP and NDC. There's nothing better from them. I'm telling you the gospel truth. They are empty heads, especially those people who comes from the north. I'm a kind of man for Boefu. Their brains are empty. They don't have any policies that is coming to change us, please. So NDC and MPP there, some people will say, so MPP time and I'm a business cost so NDC abana yes, something fine MPP bro. Because so NDC time, not a business cost so no. It's not about NDC or MPP. We should have a system, whether NDC or MPP, your business has to flourish. And no to me for 40 years. That is why you keep suffering. And that is why we want to change. Oh yes. Oh yes.
We can't live like this.
Now yeah, what broaching? Why many send this can come on? I know NDC near before you send this can come on. NDC near BP and send this can come on. You know. Bye. Ebusia, my men wrap it up. Now, thank you so much. And Sunday service no. Nyamia do my remu panso me the inspiration of the week. Me the bebrel, inspiration of the week. And my provoking with thought. Me baha. I'm not here to do your NDC or MPP bidding. Obi said, Dr. Ren, you are a disappointed MPP. If you're a Ghanaian and you are not disappointed about the country Ghana, then I think you have to visit a Ankafu hospital so that they can examine your brain, because many of us are not happy. That is why I speak and I will forever speak. Because so many years, I say it because maybe no, so when you see me, I'm passionate and I'm talking, I know the reason why I'm passionate and I'm talking. And I'm not afraid to speak my mind because you don't own my thoughts. I own my own thoughts. And I'm very bold to speak my mind. And I'm a Ghanaian and I'm also a stakeholder. Me a Ghanaian, what do I say? To make come up. And no dear whoop and the only there is nothing you can do. You don't want to ask questions. That is why you remain like that. And into a man for AU Sakura. And into a man for Emma Bagbush. But I will ask questions. What I say, and I will continuously not stop what I'm doing. Obiba say, Dr. Ren, share me Musi NDC MPP why you to Abaman. And you see, because you are not somebody who is you reason. If you start reasoning and you start thinking, Sebio, you will know exactly the right thing to do. I am here to provoke your thought. Teacher in chradie and coachron soshe and fama the student. TME, and I repeat. Teacher in chradie and coachren ba and exams room and coachron soshe and fama the student. I am here to provoke your thought, to reason, to be a thinker. Many of you are emotions in the political party. And I have told you, a free neko, do not allow your emotions to overtake your reasoning. Do not allow your emotions to overtake your reasoning. If not, you forever remain a political slave. I will question. If they do something good, I will praise them. But for me, statistics tells me that 3 to 5.5 million Ghanaians are living in abject poverty. A country with 30 million people. A Sinipa 5 million wake up with no food in their belly. Go to bed with no food in their belly. You want me to praise NDC for you? You are sick and mad. You want me to praise your MPP for you? You are sick and mad. I am not doing it. Because in my eyes, these two political parties are below performing political parties. They have not performed to their best of their ability. And that is the reason why you are crying when NDC comes to power. MPP people will cry. That is the same reason why a friend is saying MPP people will cry when NDC people are in power. Vice versa. Because they have not lived any tangible things that will make us be proud of. And that is why today you run to United States of America to seek for greener pastures. That is why we are here in UK. And that is why when people are even chasing you to come to your country, you don't want to go back to your country. Because there is nothing that you are proud of in your country. And that is why your ministers, MPs, presidents take joy when they come to abroad. That is why you see John Mahama taking pictures at CNN office. That is why you see Akufo-Addo taking pictures in UK because he is happy. What makes them happy is because somebody developed their country. We can also develop our country. And Ghana will be developed. And I have said, I believe that a Ghanaian was not born of any inferior God. We are also human beings. Ghana, Beye. Assalamu alaikum, alaikum salam. Thank you.